What's up, y'all? How's y'all day going? I hope you're having a pretty good one. We're not going to have too much of an intro today because we got some serious crap to get into. This is something I want to talk about. 2020, Summer of Love, people love to call it. That's where the left went absolutely insane and destroyed the United States of America, hyperbolically speaking. There were riots all across the country. I know you remember it. We were on lockdown, or a lot of places were on lockdown, but, you know, be jealous if you want, but this area, we were never locked down at all for any time. The company I worked for, we was off for work for 2 days. That was it. 2 whole days. And, yeah, I didn't see no significant change at all. Of course, there's a lot of little stories like that, but enough ranting. I'm sorry. I went off on a tangent. I have a problem with that. I do apologize. But like I said, getting back to the matter at hand. The pandemic, and with people being locked down like they were already having people at real high tensions. Then you have a situation like this come along with George Floyd, and it exploded. It just went absolutely nuts. And you might be thinking, why am I talking about this? Well, there's some new evidence came out that really sheds some light on that case and goes to show you how broken society can be at times, and how even a perfect justice system can fall victim to a broken society. And I'm not saying our justice system is perfect by any means at all. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying, even if you have a perfect justice system, it can never be perfect if your society is broken, in other words. Now, let's go ahead and get into it. Enough of me beating around the damn bush, okay? Supreme Court declines to review Derek Chauvin's conviction in George Floyd's murder. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Why the hell is he bringing up old wounds? Well, because this is actually a travesty, and there was no justice served here whatsoever. Let's go ahead and get into the story, and then we'll get into my thoughts in a little bit. The Supreme Court on Monday declined to review former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin's conviction for the murder of George Floyd, whose killing reignited the Black Lives Matter movement and sparked worldwide protests in the summer of 2020. That's right. It actually turned an organization that had a very righteous cause and a very righteous right to exist and meaning of existence, and turned it into a terrorist organization. That's right. Get mad if you want. Leave a comment down below if this pisses you off, but BLM is a terrorist organization. 2020 proved that. They're going to have to do a whole lot of community service to change my mind on that one. Yeah, they terrorized the entire country and just destroyed. I forget, you might know, leave a comment down below if you know how many billions of dollars in damage there were and how many lives completely ruined because of some of these BLM protesters that weren't really protesters. They were rioting for no apparent reason. We're seeing day after day of small businesses getting burnt to the ground. For what? Why are these people destroying their own community? Because some dude killed another dude? No, that wasn't it at all. There's no way you could ever get me to believe that these people were just pissed off about Derek Chauvin killing George Floyd. Yeah, you got that right. I did say Derek Chauvin killed George Floyd. Yes. He had a hand in that. He does bear some responsibility for that. But he doesn't bear second-degree murder, third-degree murder. You might convince me of some kind of manslaughter. Might. But I highly doubt it, considering the new autopsy report that came out. Yes. There was an independent autopsy that came out that pretty much said George Floyd overdosed. It didn't come out and say that, but it laid out all the data for how he died, and there was no significant damage, physical damage, to him to cause him to die. Therefore, Derek Chauvin did not murder George Floyd. He may have assisted in George Floyd's death, but he did not murder George Floyd. Period. Whatsoever. But get this. Chauvin had asked the justices to hear his case after Minnesota's top court declined to do so. The justices declined to take up Chauvin's appeal, letting his conviction stand. Wow. Video footage spread widely on social media showing Floyd pleading, "I can't breathe," as the then Minneapolis police officer kneeled on Floyd's neck for more than 9 minutes. Protesters in cities nationwide and elsewhere took to the streets following Floyd's death, and demonstrations continued into Chauvin's state murder trial. Nearly 11 months after Floyd's killing, a jury convicted Chauvin on charges of second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. Right? How in the hell can you come off with that? What in the is wrong with our justice system when one person kills another person, and yet he's charged with second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter? Now, logically, can anybody explain why that is? Why second-degree murder would not be sufficient? Why add those other two on there? For what reason? What is the purpose of that? Whose interest does it serve for him to have those three specific charges? Logically think that one out for you right quick. It only serves the government's interest. Chauvin, 47, has been appealing his conviction on various grounds while he serves a more than 22-year prison sentence. Citing prejudicial pretrial publicity, Chauvin sought the Supreme Court's review to decide whether he was improperly denied a venue change. No, that wasn't it. It doesn't matter, the venue change, and I think that's what the judge, why it was denied, because you could change the venue to anywhere in the country. You're not going to get a fair trial after this. Okay? He outright said that. And if you didn't know that, yeah, go back and look at it. He outright said he is not going to get a fair trial anywhere. So no, we're not going to change the venue. Now, sit back and think about that for a second. Our justice system, which is supposed to be the best in the world, right, cannot give this guy a fair trial. What do you do now? What are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to call it a mistrial and let it go? Or do we do what we did and sentence a guy for second-degree murder to 22 years in prison when it's obvious he didn't murder the guy? Like I said, he does bear some responsibility, but murder? I don't think so. Like I said, get mad if you want. Leave it in the comments. Let me know how you feel. Chauvin also wanted the justices to review his conviction to determine whether his trial judge was obligated to hold a hearing to consider allegations of juror misconduct discovered after the verdict was issued. Oh my goodness, juror misconduct. Yes, there was some juror misconduct. Chauvin noted fears of riots in Minneapolis as the city braced for a verdict, arguing that jurors had a personal vested interest in finding Chauvin guilty to avoid threats of violence to their families and the community. Put yourself in the place of those people. Let's say those 12 jurors would have found him not guilty on all charges. I can almost assure you that all 12 of those people would be dead. How in the hell are you supposed to give somebody a fair trial after that? It's like the Ahmaud Arbery case. That was another one of these that, holy crap, these guys made a silly mistake and got life sentences over it. I forget the exact sentence. It wasn't a life sentence. The guy that filmed it didn't really participate in it at all. He filmed it. Got, I think, 25 years. That's a totally different case. That was an even crazier case. But Mr. Chauvin's case shows the profound difficulties trial courts have to ensure a criminal defendant's right to an impartial jury consistently when extreme cases arise, his attorney wrote. Yes, this is a very extreme case. And if you want my opinion on a solution to this, you take the court case elsewhere. You'd have to go outside of the United States to get this guy a fair trial. And is that even possible? You tell me. Let me know in the comment section. Following his murder conviction, Chauvin later pleaded guilty to criminal charges for depriving George Floyd and then a 14-year-old boy of their civil rights on separate occasions. He was sentenced to serve 252 months in prison in the federal case. Last week, Chauvin made another attempt to overturn that conviction, contending that new evidence reveals he didn't cause Floyd's death, and that's what I was talking about earlier, where the autopsy report came out and pretty much proves it, that George Floyd did not die from a knee on the neck. That changes a whole lot of stuff about this case. So this guy is sitting in jail for 22 years for nothing. We all know that George Floyd was not a model citizen, okay? This guy was resisting arrest. He's eating a freaking speedball, driving down the freaking freeway, okay, endangering civilians all over the place. This guy needed to be put in jail. And what even blows my mind even more is the other two cops that got sentenced to, I forget, that's a lot less time. But how in the hell did those guys get sentenced for standing there not doing anything? That blows my mind right there. I don't know. That whole case just threw me off really bad. And it just, I don't know, you guys, like I said, if you want to try to convince me otherwise, please do leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. But other than that, that's all I got, man. That was just a messed up case, and I really don't know a good solution to getting this guy a fair trial. You know, a lot of people would probably say, well, George Floyd didn't get that right. You're right. He sure didn't. However, George Floyd did a lot of bad things, and Derek Chauvin followed his training. That's all I'm going to say on that matter. Like I said, if you have a differing opinion, let me know down in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. But other than that, that's all I got. Thanks for watching, you guys. See, I told y'all, I do cover cultural stuff from time to time. Every once in a while. But yeah, do me a favor, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications. And try to be positive. Peace.